workshop. Mark. Right, on today's on today's video, we have got some more of these. Helps if I turn the right way up. So regular viewers will have seen these before. These are Night Fox Whisker night vision digital goggles, binoculars, whatever you want to call them. In fact, I think it says Night Fox Whisker digital night vision goggles and binoculars. Spot wildlife at any distance. They've got a common fault where the whole zoom assembly for the optics, for the visual optics, not the night vision optics, unscrews itself if you are a little bit overzealous with your focusing, and it screws out and then it gets jammed, and all you need to do is release it, wind it back in again. You can just wind it back in, but what we've been doing with these is winding it out, putting a little bit of liquid thread lock on and winding it back in. It looks like the original design did allow for 3 little grub screws to pin the thread in. That's quite common on optics, but for whatever reason these haven't got it in. I don't think they're massively expensive. It's the company my wife works for that keeps sending these to me to fix them, and they've probably got about 10, 20 of them. 10, I don't know. I think I've seen some with double figures on, but each one's numbered anyway. We haven't seen either of these two before, so I think if they've got 10, we've probably seen all of them. So this one's got a dodgy scroll wheel. This one's got something different. So I'm actually quite glad that they've sent 2 units, because we might have to use something from this unit just to test on that unit, just to find out what the problem is. I suspect the battery's dead on it. But if you remember, we did have one before where I thought the battery was dead, and actually in manufacturing what they'd done is they'd managed to clamp a wire in the body of the thing when it was screwed up, and it actually broke the connection. So I soldered it back together and shrink wrapped it, and it was fine. So we'll just get this. This is the one with the dodgy scroll wheel, and you might as well bring you close. Here on sort of bird's eye view. Right, so I've got to keep looking at the camera now too. I'm just trying to watch the monitor what I'm doing. Right. So let's just confirm it is what's written on the, you can see it's wound right out. So if we wind that back to its bottom stop and wind that one back to its bottom stop, and then you can twist it, you can see we're winding it back in. So that's going in. We just need to get it apart so I can get a proper purchase on that. And I've been told not to get the numbers stuck inside the camera this time, because they get strop on if I do that. We're thinking we might have to cut that. Go find a knife. No, that drawer we won't. What have we got in this drawer? We've got any knives in here? Wallet, passport, charger. What's that where that charger went to? Just lost something down the back of there, never to be seen again. Thought we got a knife in here. Disappointed. Thought I got one of them knives where you break the blade off in there. Let's have a quick scan in here. I definitely know there's one in here. Rummage. Still think this channel ought to be, when I do rename it, ought to be Mark drops stuff, or Mark rummages in box for tools that he can't find. Right, so that should split now. So remember with these, it's that comes off. God, that really is loose. Right, so there's a couple of screws under there, 1, 2, 3, 4 I think, and then this comes off, but you can get that off with, once you've got the screws undone, you can jiggle it and pop it off rather than trying to get a spludger in and wang it off at this point. Right, I think they are Phillips. It's whether or not that's the right size Phillips. Wrong side. Nope. To use a posi on it. Sorry all you haters there, but I haven't got anything else readily to hand. Now, the thing is, when we do this, when we've done it, I'm not going to put it back together. I am going to probably steal the battery out of it and use it. God, this is stuck down well. Dogs are excited about something. Probably one of them's just farted. It's like one fart makes a funny noise, so the other one sets off barking, and then because one's barked, then the other one barks. It's like a cascade failure, fart driven. Anybody who's ever worked in the IT industry will be familiar with that, because it's generally what happens when you've got a group of engineers together. One of them farts, there's an absolute uproar for a good 3 hours later. Oops, I've forgotten there's a couple more screws on the edge. Yeah, see what I mean? If you just jiggle it, that comes off anyway. So we're probably going to have to steal the battery out of this. The offending article. See, that's the zoom, but I think that goes into the. Well, they both go into there. So combined. That's the infrared bit of it. So what we're going to do is. It's interesting. It feels like it's been dropped. Yeah, that's broken, that is. That's interesting. So yeah, sometimes unscrew these. Yeah, that's broken. Yep, look at that. Sheared clean off. Not a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. So I suspect it's been dropped, but this is that's the bit we need to just got to be careful because the optical sensor's in there. Right, thread log, where are you? Nope, that's oil. Again, Mark rummages in drawers. No idea where the liquid thread lock is. Is it in here? Is it in here? Right, so we don't have 4 hours of me just wandering around trying to find something. It was where I looked the first time, it was just underneath a bit of neoprene. Don't ask. Oh, nearly dripped that on the lens then. That come out a little bit crazy like. I think what we'll do while I'm here, I can see there's some muck on there as well. Just give that a quick clean just in case any did go on there. No, I think we're good. Right, let's try that again. There we go. Right, because it's a very fine machine thread, like you can see the hole there, and I think there's a hole somewhere else. Yes, there's one on there, and they are threaded as well, so they take those really tiny grub screws, Allen key screws that camera companies love to use. Right, if this becomes a problem with it being loose, we might have to have a go at super gluing that stand back in. In fact, I think we have actually got some. We've got some liquid cement. So why don't I because I'm pretty sure it will work on this. Because it looks like, God, that stuff stinks. It looks like it's the right kind of plastic. So we'll just have to hope that that glue's in place. So I'm going to leave that now, and we're now going to move over to the other one. What we'll do so we don't lose them, we'll put all the little bitty screws that we're going to lose in there. Put that in there, that's that one. Right then, let's move on. And as a precaution, we will do the same fix to this one. Right, so everything for that one's now over there. Can you see that? No, it's all hidden. Right, so this is the one that reportedly won't power on or do anything, but the light does come on when you put it on charge, which is interesting. Right, so it's number 8. That's interesting. Looks like this one has been, yeah, that's been wound out as well. You can see, because when you wind it back, they're supposed to be still visible, so that's usually a good indication that it's been done. Right, so power buttons, that one there. So if I power it on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Nothing. Right, let me go and get a power. Back. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were trying to get a USB cable, weren't we? I got distracted by... Right, that's not going to reach. We've just seen a thingly doodle, haven't we, in here. USB charger. Alright, where can I plug this in? Got the TV there. So I'll shift you across to one side because I've got my cable plugged into the back of the monitor we have in here. Why is that in the air? Right, and we have a red light. We don't have a red light there though. We have a red light there, but we don't have a red light there. Now I thought that when you plug these things in, you've got a red light on the front as well. Let's just check on this one. Red light there as expected. No red light there. That must be a reset button. So it is doing what I'm expecting it to do. So it is taking power and it's saying it's got power, but, oh, right, it is working under power, but what's it saying about the battery? It's saying the battery is flat as a pancake. Right, so I'm inclined to leave this now for some time and just see if we can revive the battery, and then what we'll do is then we'll tear into it. So I'm going to leave it half an hour or so. Yep, so it'll be 11 o'clock my time, and we'll just see where we end up with that. Right, let's leave it. Boom, right, back. So it's been on for about 40 minutes. See if we can wake it back up again. Yeah, unplugging it, plug it back in seems to wake it up, which it apparently wasn't doing that before. I can feel the battery under there is quite warm though. Now if I unplug it and watch what the battery meter's doing, it's fully green. Now it's half, now it's a quarter, and then it's holding at a quarter now, whereas before it was going straight off. Still holding, still holding, still holding, still holding. So that implies it is taking a charge, and there is a charge going into it. So that kind of suggests that the wiring's right, and the battery is taking a charge. So I'm inclined to leave it a bit longer. I mean, it could be the battery's on its way out and it's just really struggling to charge. We'll know better if we actually get it to fully charge, because then what I can do is I can leave it running with the recording going, and then measure how long this lasts compared to how long the battery. But this is still holding, it's not gone into red, whereas I did it about 15 minutes ago, and after about 30 seconds it went into red, and we're probably up to about a minute now and it's still showing charged. Plug it back in, fully green, back onto charge again. So I think the best thing we can do now is just leave that. The only thing I can think of is that they've let it completely drain down, and that whatever it is they're charging it from didn't have enough oomph to get the battery back to life again, whereas I'm plugging that into a higher capacity iPhone quick charger. It's not even the quickest. I've got a really I've got a 60 amp one. Is it 60 amp or a 6 amp? It's no, 60 watt. Or is it 100 watt? I've got a 60 watt or 100 watt charger that I use for charging a bank of 3 batteries for the drone, which I bought specifically because you had to have a greater than 60 watt. So I might plug it onto that and see if we can fast charge it. But I mean, that's still a 20 watt charger, which is significantly more than your average shitty desk charger, or plugging it into the side of your computer. So I think we might be onto something here. We'll see if we can get it charged up, and then we'll do some tests on it, but I think for now we'll probably cut. Right, it has been on charge now for about 2 hours, and it's still, although it is trying to hold a charge, it is still going down to 1 bar within 4 or 5 seconds, but it is holding there for a decent amount of time. So I suspect even if we revive this battery, the battery is not in the best of shape. So I'm going to leave that on, but I think I'm just going to bite the bullet and order another one. They need these things to be reliable. That feels like it's getting quite hot as well, so I think it's dead Jim. So we're going to shove that in there. In the meantime, I will strip the battery out of this one because I need to measure the, in fact no, I ought to be stripping it out of the other one because I need to measure the clips to find out what size they are, because you measure the pins by the distance between the centres of the pins. So I've just got to measure it to find out what size plug it is, so I don't have to start splicing and soldering wires. I can just order it with the right size on. So we can put this one back. Actually, we can put this one back together, can't we? Because this one's we're sending it on its way now. We're not going to steal the battery. I think we know the charging circuit's working or trying to work, so we can just put it back together and let's send this one on its way. Do you want to watch me screw it up? That doesn't mean break it, that means I did that before. It's on this side. I know it's on this side because there's screw holes there. Remember, as with these self-tapping plastic screws, or self-threading, they're not tapping really. Roll them back a bit till you feel it click, and then it should drop into the first thread, the threads it originally already made. Yeah, so yeah, that's quite a loud click because it's quite a coarse thread. Can't find the what's there? Couldn't find the screw hole. That's that one done. Put them in on this side now, and that's the last two. So this one can go back into service. Make sure I've not ruined the still managed to get half of it stuck in there. I think they can read that. That's the number 5. Right, buttons are there, so the nose has to go down. We did have one of these coming where it was upside down, so obviously somebody had tried to get in it. Arrow and arrow. There's an arrow on there, an arrow on there. Check the mechanism, that one seems to be working. Yep, they're in the right place now. Turn it on, just to make sure we haven't pinched any wires. And Sonny Barbara over there. Yep, they look all good. Turn that off now. Send that one on its way. So this one is number 5. So I'll put number 5 back in its box. And just strip down number 8. Now I will strip down number 8 to find out the battery size, but then I will put it back on charge. That side. I'll just get all the goodies out, shove them in there. Chance of getting that off 0. You can go back over here now. They do make a lot. They've got a lot of these in the range, and I think this is one of the cheaper ones. So, but they seem to do quite well. Sounds like the ecologists that use them do use them quite vigorously. Got sticky all off my screwdriver again. I've never been in these before because I'm having to where is it? Oh, it's there. Right in front of my eyes. Right, we've already cut that one, so it should come to pieces now. Right. Chuck that in there. Do some preventative maintenance on this one. Or maybe not. Right, now what I do need to do is look at how I get that out, because I think the connector's underneath there. Re-magnetise my screwdriver. Did not want to come out, that one. And one more. This should remove the whole light box, so it should give me access to... Oh, there's more. Right, so they're slightly different. We shove them over there. That's the other one of them. Now can we get it out? Appears to be stuck. Is it attached to this one? A little tiny screw in there. Yes, it is. So 90% of stripping something down like this is trying to work out how they've done it. Really don't want to do that. But all I want to do is get... there we go. That's what I'm after. So there is a connector under there. If I can get it out. So, right, so now all I need is a spludger to try and get this battery pack off. And what we will do is We'll just deal with this first. We'll just put that in, because then we haven't got to worry about that flopping around and causing itself damage and mayhem. I knew there was another screw floating around, so I guess the other one had come out. Right. So thinking this has to snug underneath there. That's it. And there are a couple of tiny screws. I'm only putting these back in case it gets knocked. At least everything's in place, because otherwise if that suddenly flies out it's going to rip all these ribbon connectors to pieces. So it's just easier. And the chance of me messing the screws up as well and then not remembering where they went is a very high probability. My back is absolutely killing me. The only plus side of this is the only relief I get is when I'm stood up at the moment. Slipped a disc and I've got sciatica, so I can't lean forwards and I can't lean backwards. And when I sit on a chair, the vertebrae moves and the disc gets trapped again. When I'm standing up, I'm slightly better. I got it almost fixed towards the end of last week, and then I did another 24-hour support for the club and completely mullered it again. Now we've got some sludges in here. We will no, they're not what I was after. Oh, there we go. I knew we got one in here somewhere. There's a load of them. They're all useless. There's a couple of metal ones here, and there is a. So we'll get the wide one. There's a screwdriver in there. I forgot about that. Right. I don't really want to have to get a other heat gun on this. So I'm hoping I can. Got to be careful because this is the optics box in there, so I don't want to puncture through. Just hoping I can kind of find out where the glue is and just force it through as a wedge to split it. Be careful when you're levering, don't push anything that's going to cause any problems, and also deform it too much. I'm just being careful at the moment, especially with these ones, because they do deform and I don't want it to catch fire. Trying to get off enough of this that it'll lift. Heat is your friend with this. If you can get a heat gun near to where the tape is, really conscious of that. This battery is deforming quite a lot. Got it? You can see them, they're actually quite flexible. Right, so that's what I wanted. I wanted that, to be able to measure that. Don't think there's any point putting this back on charge now. I've completely deformed it. So we'll get one of those ordered, and then we will stick it back together. Right, can't quite get the same thing. This is an 80-58-80. The first number is the thickness there, so it's 8mm thick. The second number is the width across there, so that's 8.0mm. The second two numbers are in millimetres, so it's 58 that way by 80 that way. Now I can get a 90-90-80 or an 80-90, 80-58-90, and I can get a 100-58-80, but I can't get that exact size. So and also you've got to get it with the thermistor wire, which is what that white wire is. So all I need to do now is just measure between the points on those with my measuring stick. Don't actually know where it's gone. I had it yesterday, but I might have left it out. Let me go and have a quick look over here. Mark looks for things again. Nope. Maybe it should be on there then. Right on with it. Well, that's what I pushed over the back. It's not in there. Not there. What have I done with that? It's not loved this in the toolbox, have I? That's annoying. Right, I've measured it. It looks to be about 1.8 something or other. So even if I can't get it, we'll just take that battery off there. Right, let's go and follow. Right, we're back. So for you, this is just cut into the next set. So I'll just do a little recap for my own personal headspace. It's probably, like I said, it's probably about 4 weeks since the previous video was on, and we've ordered some bits, and the bits have come. I've not brought them across, they're over there. I will grab them in a minute. Since then, another one's appeared with a charging issue. I don't think we've had that one before. So we will have a look at that at the end, and it might be a good idea that we did buy 2 batteries, because I bought 2 batteries. So hopefully these batteries will go straight in. The only thing I'm not sure about is whether or not I've got any double-sided sticky tape down here, or whether I need to nip back into the house. But anyway, we shall continue to dive into this and get it put back together and see if we can fix it. Right, I did have some tape. I've got some foam tape, which is probably the right stuff to use. And I've got some just straight double-sided tape, which we might have to use if we've got clearance issues, because this is 2 or 3 mil wider than the other one, so we might have to go to that, but we shall see. Right, let's go and find the batteries now. Go and find the batteries. God, this is covered. I think this is covered in wax. I wonder where that came from. We do have some other options. I do have some of that really sticky 3M tape that you use for mounting GoPro mounts on helmets and things. I've got some of that. That's quite thin as well, so I'd rather not use that, because that's a real basket case to get off. The stuff they normally use is really closed cell rubber anyway, so this should be slightly easier. So I'd preferably use this in case I've got to get it off again, and future Mark's not cursing at me because I've fastened them in. Because I think, as you saw, prizing the batteries off can be quite a invasive procedure, and these types of batteries isn't good because they do tend to explode. Batteries straight off the boat. Boat's been, boat's gone. Let's fasten this on. One of those, not going to turn into one of those people that holds my DJI mic. These are DJI 1 microphones. I don't know, I think that's what they're called. They're the first generation of the ones that come in the little box. They don't do Bluetooth, but they're fine. So look what's in here then. Should be 2 batteries. 2 batteries. I don't know if we've got the old one to compare it to be honest. Because there you go. Let's have a look. Right, so they are a little bit narrower. They are pretty much the same length, which is good because I thought they were going to be slightly longer, but they are a little bit fatter. I don't know if you can see that. And let's have a look how we did with the ends. We did fucking abysmally with the ends. I did ask them for the small one, but it looks like, so we're going to have to do some wire splicing and some soldering here, which is always fun. So we just got a little bit of wiring to do with that one, which wasn't originally planned. So I will nip up to the garage and go and get the decent solder station instead of using the really ropey one, because it's got some little fingers that hold it together. God, we aren't very well prepared today, are we? Boom, back in the room. Right, I should have set this up and got some power up here before I did this. Shouldn't I? I don't remember where I put the power sockets now. Really didn't think about this when we designed this. Mind you, we've got the portable power socket on there, but it's not usually big enough. There is one, however, in the back of here. Just in case you're wondering, regular viewers of the channel know my back is absolutely broken at the moment. It's still broken. Was getting better. This week is the first week I've actually had some kind of relief on it, and it's felt a lot better. But then I went to the lake this morning and sat in the speedboat for a bit, and it's all gone a bit Pete Tong again. Nope, that's to there. Let's steal that one. So that's me desk off now. And at some point we're going to knock this on the floor, because that's the way it is. Probably won't be a bad idea to have this permanently mounted up here for exactly this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I told George it was 6. I've been trying to give it away to my son, who's moaning about not having enough power in his room. All right. Ding, 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 ding. Right, he thinks it's off to 400. Oh, right. I think 400's enough. I ain't got a spec on the thing. I do like this. It heats up quite quick. It's really nasty and full of Chinesium, but it seems to work. Right, so we need to be a little bit careful when we're cutting the things off here. I can't just go snipping willy and nilly. I need to cut a wire at a time, so I want to give ourselves plenty of, not going to bother staggering, it's not worth it. 1, 2, 3, get my little, best thing in the world these, get a set of these. I might bring you in a minute. Don't need them to be very long. We will tin them all up though. So we've got a similar thing to this over here. Cut that one. Cut that one, and cut that one, and then now we'll do these one at a time so that we don't have any risk of any shortages. Right, let's bring you over. Right, back in the room. Hopefully that should be at a decent temperature now. What I'll do is I'll just give these a quick tin. So so I can get it so you can see what I'm doing. So just get the wire a bit warm. It's quite old wire this, so I'm not sure how good the that's it, we've got a bit on there. Alright, so we'll just quickly tin all these as well. I'm missing the pad off that one. Yeah, should have a pad in there. I think somebody stole it for the other one. Alright, these are fairly skinny wires, so we're going to need the smallest ones we've got, I suspect. They're a little bit too small, they might be a bit too small. I think they're probably about right. I think half of that'll do. Even that might be a bit of overkill. Maybe not, we'll do half. Like I said, we've probably got another one to do. So which one of these has got the longest? We'll put it on this one because it's the thinnest. It should, actually the thinnest one will probably get the hottest. Alright. This is why I like this, because I've got the ability to at least one end. Right. That's got it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I haven't got a heat shrink gun, so I don't like using cigarette lighters or little gas things that people use. So we'll just use the soldering iron very carefully. Right, let's crack on with the others then. So we've got the yellow, which yellow is going to white. And once we get those done, we should be home and dry. There we go. So we'll just quickly tin that up. You know when you've got it right, because all of a sudden it starts pulling the solder off the iron. Put it on this side this time. In theory, this side should not get as hot because it's thicker. So we'll get the white one. Might be easier with just one and I hold it. It's just that your fingers tend to get a bit Ouch. Wham. Job was a good one. Last one. And then we should be all good to go. We'll do a test run, we'll plug it in, and I'm pulling that silly face again. It's because my prescription on my glasses is buggered. And they won't give me another pair of glasses until I've been for a glaucoma test, because the nice optician at Specsavers, and I will name and shame, is convinced I've got glaucoma, even though I've never been tested for it before. But fair play, I am presenting with all the symptoms, so no family history of it, never had it before, and it's more reason probably why he was seeing what he was seeing, because I've had my eyes lasered, which, don't ever get your eyes lasered, it's the biggest waste of money ever. I had my eyes lasered, and within 3 years I was still wearing glasses anyway. Fair play, when I first had it done, I had 20/20 vision for the first time in my life, but it didn't last. So I'm still wearing glasses, and I'm wearing exactly the glasses that I wanted to avoid wearing, which is why I paid a significant amount of money for corrective eye surgery, was because I didn't want to end up in varifocals, and now I've ended up in varifocals. And it's not just me short-sighted. I've got more short-sighted as I've got older. I've actually got some of my long-sightedness has come back as well, so it's not permanent, kids. But I don't look like Clarence the Boz-Eyed Lion anymore, so I suppose there's a... Would I have paid that to avoid that? Don't know. Don't know. Difficult to say when if you'd asked me before, I might have said something different. Who knows? Right. So they're back together. Do we want to do a quick voltage check, see if we've got any voltage in these? Why not? So get out the Chinesium meter. Chinesium. I saw a video on YouTube. I don't normally click on the, just the clickbait ones, but this bloke had got this shock horror story. It's iron, and he was showing some multimeter leads, and he'd ordered a set of replacement leads, and you could actually pick them up with a magnet. So they weren't copper or they weren't aluminium or whatever. They were just steel. .9 volts. Don't think I can get. I'd have to put it in series to get amps. Temperature, Fahrenheit. It's not going to have any hertz. No, I need to put it in series to get amps. We might be able to put it over here actually. Yeah, we can get amps. So we've got no draw. I was kind of hoping it'd put a load on. So 0 milliamp draw, just because we're not drawing anything on it. Right, let me just turn this off before I end up burning something. Right, so we need to get that out. And nothing to remember. Oh, look at the state of that. Right back. Right, got a drink. So at this point, a lot of shameless YouTubers would be plugging the that disgusting green looking stuff, or some pre-prepared meals that are absolutely shite and expensive and full of preservatives, even though they say they're not. So eat up. Loch Ness. Right, so that was this year's replacement for Ride London, if you're doing the London Classics, but it is a race every year. Brilliant, really recommend it. So if you're into your cycling, get your ass up there, really well organised race. Closed roads for the majority of it. There's only about the last sort of 100 yards or so, about the last kilometre that's open roads, but you're still off to one side. So really good event, really enjoyed it. Like I said, I only did it because I'm trying to get the London Classics this year. What have I got in here? So I'm trying not to drink coffee in the afternoon because it's not doing my HRV and my sleep patterns any good. So if you're struggling for what to drink and you're just sick of drinking water, and again, I'm not endorsed by these, but these are pretty much what I use for when I'm training as well. They are high 5 zeros, so 0 calories. It's just all your electrolytes with a nice little flavouring in. The citrus one and the pink grapefruit are my favourites. I don't like the berry. I think it tastes like, as I refer to it, badger piss. They do some full fat drinks as well, but they come in a powder sachet form. I used to use them, but again, I'm not being endorsed by this, but so I will tell you what's and all. I found that the carb version of that drink, the electrolyte carb version, flared my arthritis quite badly. So if you do suffer with arthritis or inflammatory issues, don't use that, or at least try it. What I'd say is try it. Be mindful of what you're trying. You know, it might work for you, it might not. But no, the high 5 zeros, they do work very well. I buy them by the box, so I think there's 8 tubes in a box, and I think there's 10 tubes in a 10 tablets in a thing. I like these as well. You can get some ones that are supposed to be healthy. They've got echinacea and something else, which is your vitamin C, and it's echinacea. It's supposed to be ward off viruses and things like that. And they also do a turmeric and ginger one, which I also take. They're slightly more expensive, and you only mix them in 500 ml, so they're more of a drink in the house rather than a drink out. But these are good because they go in a 750. They go in the bigger bottles, which is always good. There you go, that's my shameless plugging, and like I said, I'm not paid by them at all, but if you are watching, high five. I won't say no to some freebies. Right, why won't this come out? Did we have to take that circuit? I can't remember if we had to take that circuit board. It's actually that circuit board I need, because I think the thing's on the back of that. Come on. I think we're stuck under that circuit board there. There we are. Right, now we're stuck on something else. I got it straight out last time. Fingers all over the... I can see it. It's there's a circuit board there. So I think I just lifted it out enough to get to plug it in, and the plug-in's there. It's not on the bottom there. It's there. So I think if we look to plug that in. I'm a bit annoyed I didn't get the right size plug, to be honest, because I did measure it with the micrometer, but it wasn't the obviously wasn't the most accurate. Right, I think that's in. Let's flip it over. And I think it's that button we need to press. Or is it? No. It's the completely opposite button we need to press. Oh, we've got a full battery, we've got a dropping battery. That's okay, it's about half full, but we know it's not going to be fully charged. They don't send them out fully charged. Right, I think that's good. Let's turn it back off again. You can't see that, I don't think, can you? I think the battery's in the way. Let's move the battery. Can you see that? Where is it we're looking? Down there. So it's down there is the battery sign. Right, let's flip it all over, put it all back together again and turn it off. Boom, and it's asleep. Right, so let's try and finagle this in so we don't trap any wires, because that was, if you remember, that was the fault on the other one. I think if we get that screw out, it might make life a bit easier for us, because that screw is stopping me from getting it past that circuit board. Come on, don't be awkward little screw. That's it, that's a lot easier. We've managed to wangle that behind there in the wrong place. Are we in? Look like we might be. We've got no wires trapped or anything. I think we're all good. Right. Little wire in there. So remember, I'm rolling it back till I feel the screw thread bite. So what we'll do is we'll stick this one on, once we get it back together, we'll stick it on charge, and then we'll tackle the other one, and then we'll check back on this one to see if it's charged up. So it's turned into a 2-for-1er again. Actually, I can't remember if we fixed any of the others while we were doing this one, actually, to be honest. I think I just glued them in, didn't I? I'd have to go and have a look. Right, so this has got to go on there. And we've got to get it on so that that battery doesn't get stuck against this. So we just need to, my foot's killing me. The foot injury that possibly may or may not have caused the back injury is a lot worse this week, but like I said, my back's fairly bad today. Right, I think we're fairly good there. It looks like it's a bit of a squeeze, but it doesn't feel like it's on the battery. It feels like it's on something else. Yeah, there's no signs that that's banging on there. So we'll glue that in. We'll glue it in up there, because I think it's all pretty much much of a muchness. Move it across as far as possible, glue it down. So we'll use this, though it is there is quite a bit of this old stuff on here. It'd be nice if we could get that off. Do you know what? I've got a tool for this. Well, let's say I've got a tool for this. I don't actually know where it is. I've got the blades, but I don't know where the rest of it is. I wonder whether it's in here. I'm pulling that silly, I'm looking for something face again. And pulling my nose out. It's a really bad habit. Problem is, by the time I get my glasses fixed, it'll be permanently locked in. I'll be doing it all the time. That's annoying. I wonder if it is in here. It's on the bottom. It's in the bottom. I can't see it. So these are like plastic razor blades. So they've got the same profile as the razor blades, but the idea is you can't do any damage with them. It does seem to be working quite well, actually. Look at that. See, right tool for the job. If I'd have done that with a metal one, it would have started digging into the plastic and catching. There you go, straight off. I could go a bit further and get even more of the glue off, but I'm not too bothered about the glue. I'm just bothered about the lumpy bits, because they're going to stop a smooth contact. So I should be okay to use the double-sided sticky tape now. I really am perplexed as to where the knife has gone though. I wonder if it's in with the... Yeah. Who knows? More arthritis update. More video of Mark walking around looking for stuff in drawers off camera. I know that. Arthritis update as well. This week's arthritic pain is obviously the back's still giving me some jip. But wrist, for some weird reason, this week is playing up. Just for added amusement. This one here, it's not usually this one. It's really painful around that joint there. Same one. That's my telltale one. That I usually know when I'm coming down with a virus or I'm run down is that one starts to hurt. Isn't it weird, arthritis? I'm getting some tests now though. They now think I might have some kind of anti-inflammatory or autoimmune or anti-immune, I don't know, something like that anyway, issue going on. So we've just got to be careful with these, because obviously that's what happened to one of the other ones, that the wires got caught. Are we in? Are we in? Are we in? Are we in? Yes, we're in. Right, just got to find the screws now. I'm supposed to give that a clean as well, wasn't I? Had my mucky paws all over that. That's the finest quality. Well, these go out with field surveyors, so don't feel too sorry for them. And so they appear to fit all right, these. Did we do that one? No. Oh, that's okay. Thought we were missing a screw then. So I thought we'd done it, because I could only see 2 screws in there. That's it. Smudge that down, just check it's all nicely sealed up. It is. Just got these 2 to put in. And then we can stick it on charge. Job is a good one. Right, arrow. Right, nosy bit. Well, we've got lights. Everything appears to be working. Apart from we are mega zoomed out. Right, they're good. We'll turn them off, I'll stick them on charge, and then we'll have a look at the other one. Right, we're back. Next box. Right, let me just move this one out of the way so we keep the boxes with the night visions. So this one's number 3. I don't think we've had number 3 before, so you'll have to tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. So this one's reportedly not charging. So that's going to be an interesting one for me to test over here without a charger. I haven't even got a power bank, which means I'm going to have to go over there and do it over there. Right, let me go and have a look, see what it's doing. I didn't want to disturb the other one. Right, so in here I should have... I still don't know where that flipping tool's gone. I'm a bit disappointed in that, because I was rather chuffed with myself for buying that, because that's something I used to see Ed China using a lot. And I thought, oh, I need one of them. And then I eventually remembered to buy one, and now I've lost it. Oh, we have got a power bank in here. Well, there you go. Who knew? I don't know if that's George's, to be honest. I've just shut my leads in drawer. After twice trying not to. I wonder if it's in here at the bottom. I'll find it. I'm not buying another one. Just out of sheer stubbornness, I'm not buying another one. Sick of spending money on Amazon. And black belt at it. Right. Well, these are all a bit hangy offy, aren't they? We might have had this one before. Possibly, maybe. Right. Well, somebody else has been in it. We are getting a charge light. Right. So it has got a charge light. I disconnect it. It is showing fully charged. It is draining. It is draining. It has gone down. It is now red. And that's weird because it's showing a charge light, so it could be the battery's just dead on it again, like the other one. Right, as soon as I plugged it in, it went to full. It's now showing charging. So we're going to leave this one for a bit, like we did the other one, but I suspect this one's going to need a new battery as well. Right, I will come back. I made it a mission that I was going to find it. There it is. I don't know why it's got that stuff on the back. I really don't why it's furry on the back. Maybe so you can stick it to something, but that's it anyway. That blade's pretty mullered now. There you go. That's what I was looking for. And then when the blades do wear out, you can flip them round and put them in the other way, I believe. There you go. Recharge. Right, we'll leave this charge. Right, it's about 45 minutes later. The other one's charging away nicely. I've just had a quick look at it. It looks like it's nearly fully charged. This one, on the other hand, is still showing practically empty. It's not flashing red anymore, but it's still on the lowest setting. Right. Have I got that? I've not got that the right way up. I don't think I've had this one before. Oh, I might have done, because the holes are burst. We might have had this one in before. Because I can see the holes are bust. Come on. So I think this wants the same thing, new battery put in on it. So we've just got to break into it, get the battery out, pull the old one off, and then solder the connection on and put the new one on. And then what I might do in the meantime is order some more batteries. So I think these were £10 each. Or were they 20? Were they 20 each? I can't remember. I think if I'd ordered them from the UK, they were about £30. So it's up to you whether you want to wait for the slow boat from China or buy the same battery that's already been imported. Somebody else has paid to take that time. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, should come out now. There we go. Drop that in there. Right. So we know the battery is just under there. I might be able to finagle it now. I don't really want to break the wire. So we'll... Now let's try and get it off first. I wonder if I can use one of these. Ideally I want something long and flat, like a... I'll tell you what would do it, and I thought I got one lying around on the side. I have a butter knife. So I think I did it with a screwdriver before, but what I want is actually something flat, but we've just got to be careful we don't pierce the cell. But what we do need to do is just pop the double-sided sticky, but without damaging the cell and bending it, because we did bend it a little bit more than I'd like to. That's it. That was a much less intrusive way of getting it off. Yeah, you can see we've not bent it at all. That's not still nice and straight. So use the tool. A lot easier to do it with the handle on it. You'll notice. You've just got to be careful with this because this is actually just a hollow box, and you don't want to crack it because that's part of the light box. So your optical sensors are at the other end, I think, or the screen's at that end, and there's a gap into the screen. I could use some of the special sticky stuff remover that I've got, but I'm actually wondering if I could do this without taking all this out and just do it in situ rather than having to go through the hassle of doing it all. So what I might do is just cut these wires a little longer. Alright, so that's that off. And what we can do is we can... no, it's too much of a faff. I'm not going to be able to... It's going to make it difficult. It's a compromise just for saving a couple of minutes. So what we'll do is we'll just... stick the try and charge it up a bit. Oh, I had a better magnet. I had a much stronger, like, pointy magnet. I don't know if there's something else that's magnetic there that seems to be playing with the poles a bit and spinning it around. I only need to be able to unbolt it anyway, so... Get that one out because I know we will lose that one. Alright, I only need to be able to lift it up on one side. Just enough to get that out. It's that screw again that gets in the way. So I can't be bothered to get my tweezers in there. There we go. She's out. That's that out. Turn the soldering iron back on. What's that moaning? Oh, just knock the magnet off with my knob. Oops. A little bit too... it's a bit better. So we'll just tin all them up quickly. It's very humid outside, even though it's not sunny at the moment. So we've got the aircon in here, and it's blowing the flux into my face, which is not good. Right, tinned. So we need 3 again, so let's just cut that one in half. Which way were we going to do it? Right, these are the ones we've got to be careful with. Have them a little bit longer than we did last time. Right. Remember, doing one at a time, so there's no risk that you're going to accidentally short them out. And this round here so you can see what I'm doing. Hold that wire and grab that wire. That was rubbish. Let's try that again. It didn't help I'd not tinned this wire. What did you tell me? That's better. I think we've recovered it. Actually, I think that's probably one of the better ones we've done today. Good penetration of the solder. No, we'll get told off if we start singing. Right, don't forget the... Doing well, actually. I've not forgotten one of these. There's time yet. It's one of my most common things I do. Stupid is the... I forget to put the heat shrink on. And I usually remember when I've finished soldering. That was a nice one. All good. Right, just the one last one to do now. Oh, you bugger. Caught one of the filaments with the soldering on there. Nearly forgot to put it on. Time to burn your fingers. Ouch! I was getting a bit warm. Off. Should still be enough residual heat in it to melt that. Right, let's just have a quick clean up. Where's he gone? Oh, it's over here. Right, I think it's red to that side. Yep. It's actually quite a stiff socket, that one, a little plug thing that to get in. Right, let's finagle that back under there. God, this is awkward to fit in. I think it is because of that flipping screw. You've got to try and get back. There we go, we got it out. I don't really care about the others, it's just that one seems to be a bit of a pain up the backside to get in. Right, I think they're all in now. That's it, nearly all in. Let's grab the last one. Why am I whispering? Fingers are hurting. Like I said, I was at the lake this morning putting the buoys back in, and they're really big. They're like massive. They are, if you know about shipping buoys and harbour buoys and things, they are the largest inflatable buoy that you can possibly buy anywhere. They're a size A7. So they're actually so big, they're almost impossible to handle because they are so big. And we use them on the lake, and they are as big as the inflatable event buoys. So they're massive. The A6s look tiny, which is like the biggest one, and most people will use an A4. So if you've got buoys at your event, there'll be an A4. These are A7s. They are huge. So everything you do with them is big. You've got to have tons of buckets of concrete on them. They've got to be fastened down with stainless steel ropes. You've got to have fairly heavy counterweights on them. You've got to have big shackles on your pulleys and stuff like that. So I've had my fingers inside that many pulleys and stainless steel wires today. It's been unbelievable. Right, I'm thinking about I might stick that the other way up, but it is supposed to go this way up, but we'll try and finagle it down, so I'll move that wire further away from that, because that's where it got caught before. Right, I think that's good. Have we got everything in? We've got all them in, just got that little screw there to put in. Nearly forgot. So I did a quick system check, make sure I've not forgotten anything. Yeah, I know I'm forgetting to suck my belly in. I've put about 3 or 4 kilos on. So, what's that? 6 to 8 pounds I've put on. mainly because I can't train at the moment. I'm okay on the bike, I can't run. I've been missing out on a lot of the weekend rides. So for the last 2 weeks I've been going out with the beginners group and kind of doing support ride for them. Which it's been good. It's got me back into the bike. It's proved I can do it anyway. And I did have a little bit of a race on Thursday. I was supposed to be doing coach set me a 30-minute leg spinner, and I ended up doing a 30-minute TT race on Indy Velo, which is Training Peaks Virtual now. Came third and was only about 6/100ths of a second behind second place. And I'll be honest, I was holding second place for quite a long time, but then my legs went and I slipped back to 7th. But then I'm a sprinter, so for the last as soon as we hit the last 500 metres, I just put it through some gears at it and just went absolutely red line and overtook everybody that had just overtaken me, much to their surprise. And I almost took the second place one. The first place bloke was out in the distance. I suspect he was a bit like me. Because it was my first race, I was kind of in with they just put you in as a beginner. So I kind of set off for about, at zone 2. I was going to just toss it off and just doing zone 2 just so I could get a race under my belt, see how they worked and that. And then I started overtaking people without getting out of zone 2. And then sort of went into zone 3 for a lot of the race, and then kind of I ended up in about sort of I was well through the field at that point, and I thought, I might as well just put ride it like I would do a TT anyway, and I'd start to crank it up a bit. So I cranked it up, and kind of the last 15 minutes I was on probably about 20% over FTP. My FTP is quite low at the moment. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's embarrassing, because it wasn't about 260, which isn't brilliant, but for somebody who was endurance cycling and not actually training for FTP, it wasn't that bad actually. It was okay. I think my highest ever when I've trained for FTP since I came back to cycling, and I've had power meters and things, has been about 280. Which is still not bad for an old fat bloke like me. I mean, like I said, I'm not. We've put that on the wrong way around. So hopefully this works. Possibly should have checked it before we put all the screws in, but we were having such a good natter, I got distracted. Right, so that appears to be working. We've got, like I said, I think I've been in this one before. This is the one with the really tight zoom wheel. But at least it's not unscrewing anymore. Right, so that's working. We're on about half, so we'll stick this one on charge as well, and then we'll see where we are. All right, that's just jumped up to full and charge. So we'll just knock that off, and we will leave that there, and I will come back. The other one might have stopped charging. Let me just have a quick look. Now the charge light's still on the other one. It's kind of the last 10% on a Lipo battery that's the hardest. It charges, the first initial charge when it's first putting the charge in is quite slow, and then it goes through the middle range of the battery quite quick, and then it's the last bit that takes ages. But it does the first bit relatively slow because obviously it doesn't want to stress the battery. God, I've made a right mess of my fingers. There's a lot of filaments off on the stainless steel cable, so a lot of them have just gone straight into my hands while I've been trying to pull them out. So they're like splinters, but they're not. But obviously they were covered in pond slime and crap, so I'm expecting I'm going to have a whole load of flipping infected holes in my fingers. That feels like it's bubbling up already, but we'll see. Right, we'll leave these and then come back in a bit. Bit of a pisser like, because I was hoping to get the I've got to swap the put a bigger rotor on the front of the Propel. So you'll probably see that as a little video. There'll be a little one. It's just take off the old one, put the new one on, and then recenter the brakes up. Hopefully I've got the right part. I took it off last week. One of my mates to send me a picture of his who's got the same style of frame as mine, but a newer model, so hopefully it should fit. It's just that the Giant website was a little bit conflicting. It was saying that, you know, part of it was saying that that should fit, and then it was saying that it was only suitable for newer models of the bike. It was not the older model. But yeah, all the people that were selling it were saying that it was the right one. So I've ordered it anyway. I got my second hand. It was only £3 off a bike breaker. Right, waffling back in a bit. Right, might as well bring you back. All good. It still says it's charging. It hasn't finished charging yet. Where's the charging lights? The charging lights there, top there. If I take that off, you can see it eventually goes to green. It's showing fully charged, so that's good enough for me. I'm going to leave it on fully on charge anyway over there, but I think that's it. We've fixed them. I can't remember what the price of these was. Now, the interesting thing for these, if you have got one of these and you're specifically looking for them, it says it takes an 5880, so that's 8mm thick. 58 is the 58 millimeters, 80 is the millimeters there. The first one is 8.0. Instead of 8, but weirdly, if you go to 10, it just calls it 10. Don't know why. So the 110s, the 120s will be 11, 12, whatever. It's just the way it goes. Instead of 08, it's that's the way they seem to do it anyway. So just be wary of that. So that's both of these are dead. What we replaced them with was 10 50s, 80s, so they were 80 long, 50 wide, and 10mm, so they were 8mm thinner that way, but they were 2mm thicker that way. So it's still the same density of paste in the, because these are just if you cut these apart, you just wind them out. They're actually built like a capacitor. There's two screens of metal and some the positive and the negative thing, and then there's like a the lithium polymer is smeared onto one side, and then they just roll them up, and that's how they work, I think, or something like that. Who knows? But anyway, I think there's a bit more to it than that, because I think there's different cells and the way they wind them up and everything. These are intelligent packs, so that's the important thing you've got to buy. They have got a thermal, which is why they've got the centre one, so there is a thermal switch off in there that will send the signal back to stop charging if they start to get too hot, and the control thing. So they're what you want. They weren't that expensive. I think they're about £30–40 if you buy them in the UK. I think they're about, I want to say £15 each, £10 each. Could be wrong, but anyway, I got them from abroad, and that was it. Yeah, we didn't bother putting that on there because we haven't got enough room anyway. So hopefully that works. Hopefully that works. We'll see now. We'll just see if that's holding its charge. That's still on green, which the other one wasn't. So I'll transfer that over there, go and plug it into one of the spare sockets, stick it on charge. Anyway, right. To recap today's episode. So these are Night Fox Whisker digital night vision goggles and binoculars. Both of these have got the same faulting, which is unusual. It's the first time we've had this. One of them, this one is one that we've had in before, obviously, because we can see the we've had those up, and they've come unstuck a little bit, but that's the way it is. And you can see I punched holes in, so I think I've had number 3 back before. So we might order some more of these batteries, because if these have gone, these are the earlier ones, so the next to them will be coming along at some point. But we can send these on the way. They can go back. Job's a good one. Don't forget, if you're interested in just watching the waffle, and there's a lot of different content on there. I don't stick to one thing. It's predominantly bike stuff, push bike stuff, some motorbike stuff, some car stuff, some electrical fix it. I'm not a bike fix it. I can't, I can try and have a go at fixing circuit boards, but I don't go down to component level unless it's something I can see that's wrong and I can see what it is I need to replace. I'm not going to go into replacing chips or doing stuff like that. I'm the kind of person who just go and buy another circuit board and solder the circuit board in. But it's a mix. They're not polished videos, so please don't be writing crap about. This was painful. It's not. I'm a bit more of a musty. I'll just natter my way through it. We're here for a chat. It's a good laugh. If you learn something, fine. If I frustrate you, just tune out. Go and watch something else. Right? Go and watch the polished videos. Right? They've got time to do it. I haven't. I've got a full-time job. And this is just something I do for a laugh, right? I don't make any money out of the channel, mainly because you buggers won't subscribe, so start bloody subscribing. Hit the like button as well, because that shows my content's hit the target, even if you didn't like it. That's the way it works. Anyway, right, next content coming up. God, I don't know what we've got on next. I'm looking at a giant propel over there. I did say I was going to put I was going to swap the brakes over. That's only going to be a mini one. We've got some tyre stuff that's coming up. I don't know whether that's going to be up before this video or after this video. It depends where we are. I've done them since I started this video. What else have we got? Oh, there's still a crap ton of mowers to go through. I've done 2 mowers. We've sold one. One of them's under the house, back into service. We've got the one that we use regularly, could do with a service, though that's not on the list of things to do. We've still got 2 of the cylinder mowers to get sorted out and get out the way. Both the petrol strimmers have gone. They've sold, so that's an update for you. They've sold, and the cylinder mower, the oldest of them, the Qualcast one that we've had for years, that's gone. That's sold. Didn't get a massive amount for it. I think we've got about £100. Everybody on the websites are telling me, oh, they're worth 350. They might very well be, but nobody's paying it. So it didn't cost us anything. I've covered my costs. We've used it for years. It's a good little unit. So hopefully that's gone to a good home. What else have we got? So there's one Kawasaki left to do, and I think the original mower, that's our original mower. So then we've got to decide am I going to sell the 2 Kawasaki's and keep our original mower that we know the history of, or am I going to keep 2 Kawasaki's and sell our original one, or we'll sell 3 Kawasaki's. I think the wife wants to keep 2 of them, so we can have one set up as a scarifier, one set up as a mower. Anyway, right, that's enough waffle. Job's a good one. Catch you later. Hope that was you.